Have you ever wondered why seemingly good people end up participating in or conforming to harmful systems? How can normal individuals, with values and principles, become complicit in terrible acts? This question has intrigued psychologists, historians, and sociologists for decades. Today we will explore this fascinating topic, drawing on the psychological experiments of Milgram, Asch, and Şerif, and reflecting on the implications for our daily lives with insights by Daniel Schmachtenberger. Daniel Schmachtenberger is a social philosopher and founding member of the Consilience Project, a thinker and researcher known for his multidisciplinary explorations of complex topics ranging from philosophy to biology, ecology to technology, sense-making to public dialogue. Schmachtenberger invites us to reflect on how history teaches us that every great empire, before collapsing, experienced a period in which the majority of people failed to foresee the impending disaster. This lack of insight and preparation led to behaviors that unknowingly fueled the collapse. Schmachtenberger encourages us to be more forward-thinking and to recognize the power of our choices. Now let's talk about the famous American social psychologist Stanley Milgram, known for his innovative and controversial experiments on obedience, which shed light on the psychological mechanisms that can lead ordinary people to commit extraordinarily cruel acts under the pressure of authority. Milgram wanted to understand to what extent ordinary people obeyed authority, even when this meant inflicting pain on others. The purpose of the Milgram experiment conducted in the 1960s was to study the behavior of subjects who were ordered by an authority figure to perform certain actions contrasting with the values of the subjects themselves. Participants were told to administer electric shocks to another person, who was actually an actor, every time he answered a question incorrectly. Surprisingly, many continued to administer shocks even when they believed they could be fatal, simply because an authority figure had ordered it. This teaches us the importance of questioning authority and trusting our own moral judgment. We continue with Asch's conformity studies, conducted in the 1950s by Asch. Asch was a Polish-American psychologist, considered one of the pioneers of social psychology. His research on conformity revolutionized the understanding of group behavior and showed how social pressure can influence individual decisions. Asch wanted to explore how social pressure could influence individual decisions. In Asch's conformity studies, his illuminating experiment demonstrated how individuals can conform to the group's opinion even when it is patently wrong. In his experiments, a group of actors had to answer incorrectly to simple questions about lines drawn on a sheet of paper, and the person unaware of the trick tended to conform to the majority's incorrect answer. These studies show that peer pressure can push us to conform even when we know the group is wrong. Fear of being different or being judged can lead good people to do bad things. This teaches us the importance of maintaining our individuality and our critical sense, even in the face of social pressure. During the Nuremberg trials in the 1940s, many Nazis justified their actions by saying that they were merely following orders. These individuals, who in other circumstances were ordinary, moral people, participated in heinous crimes because they felt unable to oppose authority or group pressure. In the 1930s, Turkish-American social psychologist Şerif conducted an experiment known as the Robber's Cave experiment. Şerif studied how groups develop conflicts and how they can be brought to cooperation. He organized a summer camp for boys, dividing them into groups and observing how competition led to conflict and how cooperation to achieve common goals led to conflict resolution. Şerif's research has provided an in-depth understanding of the processes of group identity formation and the dynamics of cooperation and conflict. The hope. These experiments reveal a fundamental truth: we can be induced to perform immoral actions simply out of obedience to authority or to conform to the majority. However, Schmachtenberger urges us to see beyond these dynamics and cultivate the awareness and courage to make autonomous and moral choices. We can build a more just and conscious society, where people act according to their values rather than blindly following social norms. So, what can we learn from these experiments and historical events? It is essential to recognize the power of authority and social pressure in our lives. We must be aware of situations in which we may be tempted to conform against our conscience. Each of us has the responsibility to cultivate an inner freedom, a sense of autonomy and integrity that enables us to resist external pressures. Remember Krishnamurti's words: "It is not a sign of good mental health to be well adapted to a deeply ill society." With this awareness, I invite you to reflect on your daily choices and how you relate to authorities and social pressures. Cultivating your inner freedom can make a difference, not only in your life, but also in the society in which you live. With that being said, thanks for following us and see you next time.